Woman says the Uber driver played a graphic sexual podcast during the ride. She claims the driver didn't bother to ask him if they were okay with it.
I heard some of the audio and I felt uncomfortable immediately.
An 18-year-old woman says she and her friends became worried when their Uber driver played a graphic, sexually explicit podcast last Monday.
The whole time I was thinking, why would he be listening to this with 3 girls in the car?
The 3 girls are 18 years old. One of them just turned 18 2 weeks ago. They started recording the ride out of concern. We're not playing the audio due to its graphic nature. However, people are heard describing sexual experiences in detail.
There was a woman on the podcast moaning, making noises into the microphone, and the men in the podcast were asking her questions and egging it on.
The young women were in the car less than 15 minutes. They claim the driver loudly played the sex podcast the entire ride. The mother of one of the ladies posted concerns about the incident on social media and filed a report with Atlanta police.
You didn't know how old these girls were, and you assumed that it was okay to allow this to play and giggle and laugh and even make eye contact at times. That creates a sense of insecurity.
Kara Phillips is an attorney that represents victims of violent crimes. She says while the case is disturbing, it's unlikely the driver will face criminal charges.
Without any touching and without anything that meets the statute. Yeah, this driver gets away with doing this every single day as long as Uber gives him the access.
Attorney Phillips says if one of the students was a minor, it'd be a different story.
There would be some criminal statutes that we would be able to look at this falling into under those circumstances.
I reached out to Uber for a statement. They say they reviewed what happened and took appropriate action against the driver. However, they didn't clarify what that action consisted of.
Pretty interesting. Okay, well, I'll say this. Luckily for this guy, these 3 young ladies were actually of age, meaning they were 18 years of age. I mean, it's a lot of ways that you can kind of take this story, guys. I mean, and the thing about it is them being 18 years old, they're actually considered adults. I mean, they're young women, they're really young ladies, but they are considered adults. Meaning that their parents are no longer legally responsible for them. They're consenting adults. So I can understand the uncomfortable ride, being in the back of this guy's car, having to be subject to listen to this type of podcast. But I mean, the way I look at it, guys, at the end of the day, that's his vehicle. I mean, you can agree or disagree. That's still his vehicle. And I kind of hate to say it, but it's the truth. He's allowed to pretty much listen to what he wants to listen to. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's right. Doesn't mean that it should be, viewed as legal. But again, that's his vehicle. He can do that. Now, should he have done that? Probably not. I mean, that is very odd. It's very weird and strange that you would have these 3 young ladies in the back of your car while you listen to something like that. That's more of a private type of thing to me. I would have probably waited until those 3 ladies were dropped off, and then you can do whatever you want, 100%, because you don't have passengers inside of your vehicle. You're not working at that particular moment in time, okay? But the mother's right. I mean, he took a huge gamble because he really didn't know how old these ladies were. And as the other lady said as well, if they were, let's say minors, 16, 17, yeah, I could kind of see some charges possibly coming his way. But then again, when I think about it, I'm like this, but he really didn't do anything wrong because he didn't touch anybody. He made no sense to any of these young ladies. Now it's a little weird that he actually made eye contact with them. I don't know what that's about. So I don't know if he was insinuating like, or some type of premeditated thoughts like, whatever I'm listening to on this podcast, I want to do this to you, or one of y'all, or all of y'all. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a little bit wild, man. That's it. I mean, it's not really a lot to say on it, guys. I mean, like I said, they're 18 years old. They are legal adults. Nothing happened. Like I said, no sex. Nobody was doing any touching, anything like that. So you can't say he was SA. He SA'd the ladies. I don't know why I said that. May have to edit that out, guys, due to YouTube's copyright. That slipped out. My bad. Yeah, he didn't SA the ladies, anything like that. So, I mean, hey, he pretty much gets all scot-free. Now, what I will say is that with the Uber situation, I'm kind of curious to see like what they said to him as far as that situation. Like, did they deactivate his account? Did they take any kind of action towards the driver? You see what I'm saying, guys? Like, is he still on the platform? Did they suspend his account for 1 or 2 weeks until the investigation is complete? Like, what's the full story on that as far as the Uber side of things? Of course, that was not mentioned in this video. Also, I looked it up, guys. I didn't really see anything on that, so I just found it kind of interesting. So yeah, y'all drop a comment down below. Let me know how y'all feel about it. But everything I just mentioned, guys, I don't really see anything wrong with it as far as, like I said, him being in his own vehicle. But at the same time, again, I understand how it can be very uncomfortable for the passengers in that particular situation. And I just think, like I said, he probably just chose the wrong time to play those type of tapes. And like I said, sometimes we just have to, especially as men, we got to make better decisions when it comes to, especially when it comes to young ladies and or just women in general. You have to move a certain way. Okay, that keeps you out of a lot of trouble. And that's the truth. All right. So that's what I got to say on it, man. Like I said, y'all drop a comment down below, like the video, share the video, and most importantly, make sure that you guys hit the subscribe button. I appreciate y'all listening. I'll catch y'all in the next one. All right. Peace.